This is another episode of Talks with Tyler ISD, a podcast about the passionate people who have a heart for students. This podcast is brought to you by Texas Bank and Trust. Welcome to another episode of Talks with Tyler ISD. I'm your host, Jennifer Hines, and joining us today is Jessica Brown, and she is a CTE work-based learning coordinator, and you do all things related to career and technology education. Let's talk a little bit first about your background. You have been doing this for 13 years now. Tell us a little bit about where you started and what you've been doing now.
Sure. So I've been in education and building business partnerships for about 13 years now. Prior to coming to Tyler ISD, I was with UT Tyler in the College of Business and built a lot of partnerships there. Luckily, some of those I was able to bring with me when I came over to Tyler ISD, so it's been really fun to kind of see those two worlds kind of mesh together and just expand from there.
And when you talk about building those business relationships, you are very involved in the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, I do a lot with our local chamber. They're awesome. They're a huge part of our community, so getting plugged in there was just kind of a no-brainer. So I'm part of the Contact Club, which is membership services to help bring in new members. So I attend ribbon cuttings, go to networking events for our businesses in town, and through that, we've built a lot of partnerships for our students.
And so February is Career and Technical Education Month, so that's one of the reasons that we're having you on this episode. Tell us a little bit about businesses that can get involved. If somebody is saying, oh, wait, I own a business, I would like to do this, what do they need to know?
They can reach out to us at any time. We're always looking for new business partnerships. We love to partner with our local businesses for various opportunities, internships, bringing people into the classroom to talk to our students. It's always a great way to connect the real world to what we're actually learning in the classroom.
And I love that y'all have an advisory board so that y'all make sure that you're hearing directly from current businesses what it is that we need to be teaching our students so that they are getting the proper certifications, learning the best skills in order to go into those different professions. But they also help in other ways, like resumes. Y'all recently had an event.
Yes, it's such a fun event. We do a CTE resume workshop every year, and we have HR professionals that come in and sit down with our students one-on-one and critique their resumes, give them feedback right there. The students go back to class, make those edits, and then their resume is ready. We host an event every April called our CTE Opportunity Fair, where we invite several local businesses. Last year we had over 100 businesses come. They set up a table, and they talk to our kids about opportunities they have. And one expectation from the school side of that is that those students show up with a resume so that they can present themselves very well, do an elevator pitch, give them their resume. And we've had students actually get interviews and hired on the spot from that event.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. I love that we're able to make those connections and then they can go to that next step almost right away. Tell us a little bit about pathways to professions. That's one of the things that y'all also do.
Yes, that's such a fun event too. That one brings industry professionals into classrooms that relate to our students' programs of study. So with CTE, Career and Technical Education, we have 25 different programs of study now in Tyler ISD. So we've got something for everybody. So Pathways to Professions brings an industry professional into a class that's related to that program. So if they're health science, we'll bring in doctors and nurses. If they're in manufacturing, we bring in somebody that's actually doing those jobs to talk to our students about how they got there, what they're doing, and what their world kind of looks like once they get out of school and go into that career.
And of course, internships are a huge piece of what you do. Tell us a little bit about that and how you're coordinating all of those and what the students get to experience.
Absolutely. Internships are kind of a thing where in the past people always thought of, oh, you've got to be in college to do an internship, and it's changed so much. We have so many businesses that we partner with. We're very fortunate that we have such an awesome community here and so much support. But we send students out in high school now because feedback from a lot of businesses is how do we capture these students early on? So in order to do that, they start working with them now while they're in high school. So usually when they're a junior or senior, we place them in an internship that is related again to their program of study so that if they've signed up to be in health science, they get to go do clinical rotations at the hospital. If they're in engineering, they're going to go and shadow an engineer at their job and see what they're doing. If they're in AV or graphic design, they're going to actually go out and work with a local business on some type of project that they may have and actually put forth the skills they've learned in the classroom in an actual business setting so they can say, oh, this is how it clicks. This is why I've learned this.
And so they're doing this during the school day, but it also goes year round.
It does. So for the most part, we try to send students out during their CTE class here with us. They come at least one day a week here for instruction and to touch base with those teachers once they're in a practicum class. And then after that, they can actually go and just do that work, which looks great on their resume that we help them, prepare. And they have some experience to show for it. But they can also, we do a summer internship where we've partnered so that students, when they're finishing their junior year, they can do an internship, and then coming into their senior year, they can continue with that internship if they'd like, which is kind of neat to see those partnerships grow and change as they develop and get more of those skills in the classroom. So it's kind of nice to see. But some of those students too take on an internship and get hired, and then they stay with those businesses even after they leave us.
That's wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit more about how that process works, because you meet with the businesses, find out the needs. You want it to be a win-win on both sides.
Absolutely. So what we do is we reach out to some of our local business partners and say, hey, I've got a business and marketing class and we're looking to place some students. Would you be interested? If so, what type of needs do you have? So then they get back to me, tell me what they're looking for, what they need that student to be able to do. We get with the teacher in those classes and say, this is the opportunity. We present it to the students. If the students are interested in that and think, hey, I'm a good fit for that, I have those skills, or I already have a certification in that area, then they're encouraged to apply. And then our business partners can actually interview students if they'd like. They can have our teachers pick them based off knowing how they work. But either way, we match up the student with the opportunity, and it's treated like a real job. They do some onboarding, they get hired on, they are with that business, whether it's a paid or unpaid internship, and they get evaluated on site. We use that for coaching and helping them grow so that they know what to do when they're actually in the real world, in a real job.
And what I love the most about this is sometimes it works out great and sometimes it doesn't, and that's good, because if you think you want to go down this career path, it's better to know now that, oh, I thought this was for me, but maybe it's not. And so you can kind of eliminate some things as well, but you can also find areas that you never even thought of that are something that you may want to consider, because there's just such a wide range of opportunities with all the different career pathways. But it's not just the main skills, those technical skills. They also work with them on soft skills.
Yes, absolutely. Soft skills are something we hear a lot about, wanting to make sure that our students are ready for that too. So that is something they get from the different events that we host. They have to learn how to, introduce themselves. They dress professionally. They prepare themselves. But then when you're placed in an internship, it's a great time for students to realize, oh, I'm sick today. The school doesn't notify my internship. I actually need to call. And how do I do that? What does that look like? How do you professionally communicate with an employer if you have a school-related absence coming up because you're in drill team or band or in athletics and you're going to have to miss? So we do put that on our students and tell them, hey, this is the expectation. If you can't make your internship, you need to contact them, and you need to do it in advance, because for some of our students, if they haven't had a job, you don't know that that's an expectation.
Yes, showing up on time is one that I've heard a lot, that you have to just kind of drill into some of our students, or like, this is how you dress in this profession versus this other profession. Let's talk a little bit about the wide range of areas that they can go into. You had mentioned marketing was one of them.
Yes, we have 25 different programs to study now. The cool thing about CTE is that it kind of ebbs and flows with what's going on. So if there's a need in the community and there's a need in our state for something, then it's really all industry driven. So we have so many programs. So if you're wanting to be in health science, if you want to be in criminal justice, we have cosmetology, culinary, architecture, engineering. I mean, we even have plumbing now because there was a House bill that was passed. And so to help these students and to fill that gap, there was a huge number of people that are retiring in that area and nobody to fill those jobs. So now they can start working on that in high school. So those hours they start accumulating in 9th grade, working under a licensed plumber here at the Career and Technology Center, count towards their tradesman license.
And so they're just that much closer to being able to get that, to get to where they could do that as their profession, as opposed to waiting until after high school or after college to go into that field.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about pharmacy tech. I mean, those students make quite a bit of money if they get that.
They do. And that is one that I love, because it's so funny to me. When I was in school and graduating, people were like, well, you might as well stay in school. There's no jobs. It was just not the best time. But now I tell our students, they are in such demand. It's crazy. And that's an area where we will have a pharmacy call and say, hey, do you have any pharmacy tech students for me? Do you have any that you know of that just graduated? We've got openings and we need them. So it's really cool to have these opportunities like pharmacy tech, where they can get that certification in high school and actually start working as soon as they leave us, whether they want to continue on in that, or if they want to, go to college but do that in their spare time as their job while they're in school. It pays really well and it's in demand.
And that's what I love about it, is that some of these certifications or these skills that they get is that they can go and work and help to pay for their college, and that's less of a financial burden on them, and they actually can see how they can make it all work, and then it even be in their pathway. So pharmacy tech wants to be a pharmacist, they can help put themselves through school, and it's a win-win because they're also getting that knowledge by working in that field. Let's talk a little bit about the jailer program. That's a new one.
Yes.
That's exciting.
That's a really cool partnership that's kind of been ongoing for a couple of years now, and it's neat to kind of see it really come to where it's at. It's been fun. So we have a partnership with the Smith County Sheriff's Office, where a few years back they saw a need where they were short on jailers to work. Well, that's also a certification that most people get after they're 18. So we've partnered with our sheriff's office and with the help of Texas Education Agency and TCOL, which is a licensing area under law enforcement, to be able to offer that in high school for our students. So now our students get to do that class while they're here with us in school, get that training, go to the sheriff's office, see some things there. But when they graduate, they have that certification as long as they pass that test, and they start out making over $45,000 a year plus full benefits. So for our students that truly want to go into law enforcement, this gives them something to do in the meantime, because they can't go through the police academy until they're 21. So this is great experience working up to another goal, or potentially staying in that area and just promoting within. We've got some students that are already working there.
Yeah, that's incredible. And what I love about it is we had a need that was brought to us. We were able to create this program to help feed that need, so to speak, and it's the first of its kind in the state, which is really neat. So you're like the footprint for everybody else.
It's a lot of fun. We have people calling us from different states, different places around us, saying, hey, how did you do this? We want to hear more about it. So we're excited to put that out there and show people how this happened, so that we can help fill those vacancies in that void in the state of Texas, not just in our area.
And tell us a little bit about the EMTs. I mean, that's even another pathway.
Yes, that's huge. So we have health science, obviously, is our biggest program of study. We're a big health community, which is awesome. We've got really good industry partners here for that. So EMT, they're getting 9 hours of college credit with that through our partnership with Tyler Junior College. But they're doing ride-alongs on ambulances. So these students are actually coming to school, putting forth all that work during the day, but then they spend their evenings doing those ride-alongs and getting those hours. And it's been really eye-opening when you talk about, hey, I really love something, or this may not be for me. Kind of a cool way to experience that. They're seeing it firsthand. So
they're on the front line, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely.
And
it's kind of nice that they get to figure that out in high school versus graduating and then saying, you know what, I think I'm going to go through the EMT program, and spending a couple of months doing something like that when they've already figured it out in high school of, oh, I do love this, or, oh, wait, this isn't for me. I need to do something else in healthcare.
And I love that, because it's almost like they're not wasting time. They're learning more about themselves and what they want and what they don't want. And you had said health is a huge pathway, not just health for people, but animal science is another big one.
That is a really fun one. I love going in those classrooms. Anytime they send us an email and say, we've got puppies, we usually come running.
Who doesn't love puppies?
Yes, it makes everybody's day great. So it's a ton of fun to go in there. They have different animals all the time. They're doing a lot of hands-on activities in that class. I know my dogs love coming and getting to hang out with our students all day. But they're getting ready to go in and work in a veterinarian office if they want. And some of our students do internships with local vet offices. We've had some that are working at different places with horses, which is really neat because that's a whole nother level of care. So it's really fun to see what all they do in that area too.
And then y'all even have the whole AV, like the video, the graphic design, and all of that. And they've gotten to do some really cool projects.
They have. We have our AV students that have done some of the safety videos for local manufacturing places that you'll go into, you'll watch it, and at the end it'll say it was created by the CTC students at Tyler ISD. So it's really neat. They do a lot of partnerships with some nonprofits, both graphic design and AV, to help them with different things they have going on and promoting those events when they may not have the office staff to normally do so.
Well, and education is another one. I mean, we're educating them, but we also need educators in the future, so that's another pathway.
Yes, our teaching and training program is a lot of fun. They get to go and work with students in our pre-K Head Start program, but then also in our elementary and middle schools. So they're actually going in and working in the classrooms with those teachers, kind of acting as a teacher's aide for the day, leading some activities and seeing how to manage a classroom. When they leave us their senior year, they have their educational aid certification. So I know our HR department loves to offer opportunities to those kids so that they can stay as an educational aide, but then hopefully continue on here through UT Tyler, get their teaching, certification, and actually come back and hire on with the district.
Which again, like they immediately go from graduating as a senior to being a teacher's aide while they're going through college. I mean, they just can keep building and building. I love that. Tell us a little bit about some other opportunities that y'all have here, because not only are you helping them with resumes, helping them with the soft skills, creating these internships, but they also have to dress a certain way for these jobs, and y'all have a closet with clothes for some of these students, because let's be honest, they all wear jeans and hoodies and sweatpants and that kind of thing. So having that professional dress, a lot of times they don't have that in their closet. It's not something they would normally just go out and buy.
Right. So a few years ago, we saw the need for that because of what you said. I mean, so many of our students come in jeans and hoodies, which is great for the classroom, but if you're coming to our opportunity fair or you're sitting down with someone one-on-one to critique your resume, you might want to dress a little bit nicer. We also send kids out for, actual interviews for jobs. So we started a professional dress closet. And with that closet, we take donations. We're looking for stuff all the time from young professionals that may be cleaning out their closets. If you've got something that you think our students could wear, it helps tremendously. We've had students that go to that closet, they get a full suit to wear, or they may just get a button up or a tie. I mean, whatever it is that they need, they can take it from that closet and they get to keep it. So they can use it for that event, that interview, but then also have it, if they have another interview after they've left us and they are like, oh, but I do have that, that suit that I got from the Tyler ISD professional dress closet. Let me grab that. And then they're prepared and they're more confident to actually sit for that interview.
And I mean, you're talking everything. Y'all are looking for belts and shoes and all the things. If somebody is listening to this and they're like, oh, I definitely have some things in my closet that I could donate, what is it that you would want them to do in terms of should it be on a hanger? Definitely needs to be clean. Don't just bring a big box of your castaways.
Yes, we love for you to bring it on a hanger already professionally, dry cleaned or cleaned at your home, however you do it. But if you can bring it on a hanger, that's fantastic. We have students in our marketing and business classes that kind of manage that closet, so it helps them for sure to just be able to hang it up and put it in the right area that it goes in when they're inventorying what we have in there so that it's ready for students. The whole point is for students to be able to go up there at any point and get what they need. So if we're taking in donations and then we're having to send them off to be cleaned, it just takes a little bit longer for it to get in the hands of the students that may need it.
And so if a business wants to, or a person wants to donate, what do they need to do? Or if a business is interested in becoming more involved, what are those next steps?
Reaching out to me. That was kind of a passion that I took on, and then I pass it off to our students. So I work with them in that closet, but you can reach out to me at any time. You can come by and see me. You can drop off your donations in our front office during our regular office hours. You can call me, email me, and then we can set up arrangements to help you get your stuff here or for you to just bring it by.
And of course, it's super easy to get a hold of you because it's jessica.brown@tylerisd.org.
Yes.
So super simple to get in touch with you. Let us know if there's anything else that we should be sharing with the businesses right now that are listening to this podcast.
The thing I like to tell people is CTE is so broad. Like we mentioned, we have the 25 different programs of study. So there's something for all of our students, which also means there's some way for all of our business partners to plug in. So if you've never worked with us or you've worked with us in the past but haven't done as much, or you've heard something during this podcast where you're like, oh man, I didn't know they did this, we'd love to have you. We're never turning down businesses to either come in and work on a project, review projects that our students are working on, attend one of our events. I mean, the more people, the better. We love having different people in for our students to see because they may not know you exist unless you come in and actually kind of make those connections with us. So we would love to have anybody work with us.
And I love how it's creating that workforce pipeline for our students because we need certain areas to fill in the workplace, and this is just another way that we can help do that and support our community as well. Jessica Brown, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about all the wonderful things that are going on in career and technical education as we celebrate that this month. And thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Talks with Tyler ISD. If you would like to share this episode with your friends and family, please do so. And if you'd like to know more about all things Tyler ISD, you can just go to get.tylerisd.news and we will send you newsletters about all of the wonderful things going on inside Tyler ISD. We would like to thank our sponsor, Texas Bank and Trust. Subscribe to Talks with Tyler ISD on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Please share this episode with your friends and family.